Hey everyone, Fake Gamer Guy finally back with a new retro game review. This time it's the Japanese puzzle game Grille Logic. There's two parts to these puzzles, so let's start with the first one. You've got these arrows down here at the bottom, then you've got these arrows over here. Basically, we just need to put the arrows from the bottom into the missing spot here. Except you actually do it here, and the panel on the right spins around. It's hard to explain, so I'll show you what's going on. All these arrows are pointing up. The up arrow goes in this spot, which matches this hole. The panel is going to rotate, so now the arrows are all pointing to the right and the hole is moved over here. So we put the right arrow in this spot, and so on and so on. Hey, we did it! For the first loop, all the arrow pieces are in the same order, up, right, down, left. The panel also starts up and rotates right, down, and left, making everything pretty simple. Until you get to level 11. Here the pieces are already placed on the board and you have to punch out the hole to match them. Everything is pointing up and there's only one piece, so we know exactly what we need to do. But now there are two different pieces in different directions. Up is straightforward, but what about right? The panel is going to rotate like this to match the arrow. This is the panel we need to punch out. So if we go backwards, we can see that we need to make the hole here. This sounds incomprehensible, but trust me, it starts to make sense as you play. After you finish level 14, you'll move on to the next loop and it starts all over again. This time the arrows at the bottom are backwards from how they were before, so you have to do a lot more puzzle rotation in your head to figure out where the arrows need to go. Luckily, the second half of the puzzle doesn't throw any curveballs, it just adds more arrows. Loop 3 changes the starting position of the panel, but the arrows are in the original up, right, down, left order. Loop 4 changes the starting position of the panels and shuffles the arrows so they're not all grouped together anymore. I can't find much information about this game, so I don't know if Loop 4 is the last one. Going by the space theme, I think it is, but who knows. I don't see myself beating this loop anytime soon. As far as the graphics go, it's general 1996 puzzle game affair. Same goes for the sound and music. Here, take a listen.
Ready to go!
The controls are also not very responsive, which is pretty important in a game that gives you so little time to complete the puzzles. Oftentimes I would move to a spot, hit circle, move to the next spot, only to realize that I actually didn't drop the arrow, or that the arrow had dropped in the wrong spot. It's a small issue, but the consequences are pretty severe. There is a 2-player mode, but it's basically the single-player mode with 2 people, and finding a friend to play with is gonna be pretty hard. Overall, Grille Logic is a kind of fun, kind of interesting Japanese puzzle game, but it falls short in a lot of ways. It's not good, but it's not bad either. It gets a 2 out of 5, points for simplicity, but penalties for being bland. I have a hard time recommending this game, but if you really need to play it, you can find it online for about $10 shipped from Japan. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for future retro and import game reviews.